What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Todo Chido. I am your host, Jalissa, and of course, I'm here with the boys, Steve and Brandon. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
And we have a special guest today, a familiar face, if you guys know, from IE Friends. IE and Friends, we got Saul.
Hey guys, what's up? Was that synchronized? You guys do that all the time? What's up? Or
What's up?
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I feel like I can catch him, but sometimes I don't, so I'll just stay quiet.
Actually,
I don't know. Do you guys have an intro? What do you guys say when you guys first start up?
yeah. It's what's up, friends? Welcome back to IE and Friends. My name is Saul Gomez. My name is Aaron. My name is Caesar. And then Aaron will say something about whatever his life is like, and I'm sad or some shit like that. But honestly, you know what I learned about podcasts? Intros are very important. If you have the exact same intro every single time, it stays in people's head, and they'll just be like a random Tuesday at 6 p.m. They'll say your intro.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. It's got to be catchy, right?
Write this down.
Jingle.
Okay.
All right. What's up, Chidos? Like, what's up, Todo? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't roll
when
off
you're
the
saying
tongue.
your intro, I was like, it should be like, todo chido donde todo está chido. My name is.
There you go.
That's how
Edit that out, bro. We came up with that. But thanks for coming on, Saul. You know, we got some questions. Let our audience get to know you.
Nice.
I mean, if they don't already know you. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and start it off?
Yeah, we'll start off with something interesting. I've always wanted to ask you this because I don't know. Not that long ago, I had seen this clip of, I think it was David Dobrik, and I forgot who he's on the podcast with. But there's this other girl, and they talk about early on in their career, they got invited to this like some sort of cult thing where essentially the point of the invite was for them to sell their souls for fame.
Ooh.
Yes. So I was gonna ask you, have you ever encountered anything?
Oh,
like
I thought you meant would you sell your soul?
either one.
Did
I?
Nah, I wouldn't tell myself. But like, what do you mean? Like, what was it? Sorry, repeat the question.
So like, I guess has the Illuminati ever tried to
To reach out to me?
Yeah.
Nah, but what I think like the Illuminati is like the industry people. I feel like that's Illuminati. I feel like I'm in the Illuminati now.
Oh shit.
So you never been invited by like a cult to like do something like that?
Nah, but I'd be down if anybody's down. you want to hit me up?
Invite me.
It'd be cool.
He's like, I've been waiting
for that invite, bro. I wonder how it comes. Like, you think it comes like in a letter or an email?
They kidnap you, bro. Like right now, you're gonna go back to your car and they're gonna put a hood over you,
Shit.
and then you're gonna wake up like in downtown LA, and it's gonna be your
In a
initiation.
warehouse?
Yeah.
They're going to be doing a chant in the background.
Exactly.
Damn. I mean, no, but like it'd be very interesting. I'd be like, what are you offering? You guys got dental? Need that shit. But nah, I wouldn't. I think I can do it myself. You know, I don't think I need.
But have you ever had like you've never encountered like weird like people
weird
in the
shit?
industry?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
As far as like right now.
Because me, like even before like I ever did anything, at least here in LA, like sometimes I'd go to the park. I'd run into like cults and shit because it's like LA.
Yeah.
So like I'd see like normal shit like that. Yeah, of course.
Normal
Like,
shit.
you know,
Normal shit. Yeah. Cults.
yeah, LA. We got homeless. We got cults. we got taco stands.
It's
We
all
got it
here.
all.
It's all
you know?
here. Nah, I don't think I've ever bumped into anything like that or any weird people. I know where I used to live in Chino, there is like a cult, like a pretty popular cult where they like, you can go up in the canyon and then you'll see people like gather around like in robes. This is closest to like cult I've been around though.
I mean, it's good.
You
don't believe him?
He doesn't want to
Of course, that's what he'd say.
We'll see what he says like off camera, right?
When you slow down the footage, you're gonna see my pupils turn into like little slits.
Oh, the fucking the sideways blink.
Yeah.
Edit that in.
But I'll let you guys know because I mean I feel like it's coming. I'm going that direction where there's like my homie, he does like a lot of like mansion parties. He says like those get weird. Like they have like their own rooms where they do not like weird shit, but it's more just like sex orgy weird shit,
Like elites only.
dungeon type stuff.
Just give us like a safe word, like wear blue specifically on one day if you're like part of a secret society.
All
You get what I'm saying?
right.
Like something that only like if
If you
people
see
saw
me-
this episode would get it.
Yeah, I've always said this. I was like, I saw because I used to be super into like Illuminati conspiracy videos back when I was little. Like I watch that shit all the time. And one thing I forgot, I don't know if it was Cat Williams, I forgot who said it, but they're like, once they like start cross dressing, that means they join the Illuminati. Like that's
Oh, yeah,
when
I
like
heard that, yeah.
Oh,
something like
it's
that.
supposed to be like the
Like humiliation ritual. Yeah. So if you guys ever see me do that, I've joined
That's
the Illuminati.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. I don't think ever since seeing that video, I just kind of like, I was like, okay, I'll make sure not to do it.
I'm gonna be the one who doesn't do it,
Yeah.
dude. Because it's surprisingly a lot of celebrities and like people in the industry really do cross dress though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've read like both like sides of it. It's like, oh, it's just supposed to be like funny, right? It's like it's a tale as old as time. Like a dude is a girl, you know. It's just supposed to be funny.
This video is gonna disappear on YouTube.
Yeah, you know,
That's happened to us before.
Yeah, a year ago, like a year and a half ago, we were talking about conspiracies, and we
talked about
we
you've
talked
seen
about
it,
Jim
right? With Jim
Carrey.
Carrey, where he comes
Yeah.
on Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he starts doing like
The
this
thing.
and stuff like that. We started talking about it, and that's our only episode to this day that's ever been like banned and taken
Just
down.
disappeared?
Yeah,
Like,
just
Yeah.
disappeared.
YouTube
Yeah.
just took it down. Yeah,
Wow.
and for no reason at all. We didn't have like any copyright or anything.
Yeah.
We were kind of spooked. We were like, whatever. I'm not even gonna fight
Yeah,
it.
don't
whatever.
fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. They're watching. Warning one. Damn. That one.
But like I think you mentioned before that you've kind of always been on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
this is kind of your goal since you were a little kid to kind of blow up on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
What's that like? Kind of growing up, quote unquote, in like the industry,
Yeah.
I'd say, like, and trying to blow up in it since you were a little kid. What's that like?
I would say at an early age, I wasn't really, well, I guess I started YouTube just because I thought it was cool. Like I remember my first, it was like I started, I think, 3rd grade. My phone at the time, it was a Sprint Instinct. And like I just would record videos because it had a video camera. And then I noticed that there was like a upload to YouTube button. And I was like, oh, cool. So I was just like literally just give a 3rd grader a video camera. That's what my videos were, like just random stuff. And then so I just started uploading to YouTube like that. And it just became a habit of just recording videos and uploading. And then when I started like getting more into it, I started like asked my mom for a camera, and she bought me a camera. And then so middle school, I started taking it a little bit more serious. Freshman year was when I was like, well, middle school to freshman year was like, all right, I'm gonna become a YouTuber. And at this time, like being a YouTuber was weird. Like if you're a YouTuber, like people fucking made fun of you. It just was not. I remember I used to be embarrassed going outside with a tripod because I thought like my dad and my dad's friends would think I'm gay because I have a tripod.
Oh damn.
That's how it was. Like it was just like it was just not normal at all.
Yeah.
And
What year
it's-
was this? Wait, do you remember what year? Because I know
Freshman
what
year
the
was
era.
20. Yeah, freshman year was 2012. So like 2010. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
started like deeply 2010. So I was just like 2010. I just started like researching how to like get famous, and I
How to
started
get famous.
Yeah,
How to make money.
Well, actually, I started before YouTube. I went on Google and I put I'm 11 years old and I want to be famous. I remember typing that, and then it took me to an acting class in Beverly Hills, and I was doing it, and it was actually real. Like I was doing really good. Like I was like popping. Like all these auditions were going pretty good. Where they told me they're like, hey, we want to take you to a showcase in New York, and they told my mom about it. And I remember this is when I felt like I was joining the Illuminati, right here, for real.
Starting up young.
Yeah, I was like 10, 11 for sure. And then I remember they told my mom that like they really want to sign me to go to like the showcase in New York. We went to like downtown LA to like one of the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Took an elevator all the way to the top. And then we walked into like this one office. And I swear to you, I don't remember seeing the guy's head. It was literally just, I remember seeing his suit behind a desk. And I remember he slid like a piece of paper like that. And I looked at my mom, and then she looked at me. And then she told me, she's like, it's either, because it was very expensive. Like they wanted me in New York, but it's super expensive.
Yeah.
There's no way I was going to go. And she told me, at the time I was also going to private school. And my mom told me, well, it's either you go to New York and you leave private school. And at the time I was just so afraid of public school. I was like, because
Why? Why? What
because in private school, like all you hear is horror stories of public school. It's like,
Dude,
oh,
bro, okay, really quick side note. That's one commonality we all share is we all went to private school too.
Yeah.
So, and I agree 100%. Yeah.
Dude,
I
that
remember
to us
they'd
too.
be talking about it like it was like a third world country.
yeah,
in
it's like,
public
oh, someone
school.
got, a 3rd grader got stabbed. What?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
No, dead ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the kids throwing desks at each other? Like
Oh
over
yeah,
the
they have
Yeah.
metal
stairs?
detectors. And
Yeah, metal detectors.
Sometimes we had transfer students who came from like public to private, and they literally would be like, "Oh my god, you guys don't know how good you have it!" Like literally like a refugee, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you were saying
So
sorry.
that's what like led to my decision. She was like, well, it's either private school or you go to New York. And I was like, I want to do private school. And then so after that, I was like, shit. And then after that, I was just like, well, I still want to do this. So I just started writing out my YouTube videos. And that's when I started doing the scripts. And then that's when I started acting out my scripts. And I started getting friends. So that was my thing into high school. And then high school was worse. When people found out I was doing YouTube, oh my gosh. And it's funny because now everyone's doing YouTube. But like back then,
what was the
like,
perception? Like, what do people think?
This dude's weird, talk shit and all this stuff. I was just like, I remember freshman year, no one knew I was doing YouTube, and I was doing pretty good on YouTube. Like my freshman year, I think I was probably doing like 20 to like 40,000 views a week, and I was making money. Like I was making really good money as like a freshman, and then like, I remember one of the popular girls. She followed me on Instagram one day, and she saw I had YouTube, and then so she kind of started telling everyone, and then she's popular. Everyone was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why she?" Because she honestly, shout out to her. She was super supportive. Yeah. Even though she was like, that's cool. She was like one of like the baddies, the popular girls. She was like, "Oh my God, Saul, you're so funny." And then her friends would hear like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, he does YouTube videos." And I was like, "Oh shit."
You're like, I mean, a little from time to time. Yeah.
And then it just started spreading around the school that I do YouTube videos, and people will watch them, and that's when people would just like talk shit.
I mean, that's good that she supported you though, because it would have been the worst if she like made fun of you.
Oh yeah,
probably you'd be doing something else right now.
Probably. Actually, I don't know. Well, actually, yeah. Fuck. Well, because this is what happened after everyone found out that I did YouTube videos. I changed up my whole content because I was really cringy. Like I was like my audience were like little kids, so I was like fucking. I had this one character. His name was what was his name?
Fred.
So Fred was an inspiration. Oh, okay. I loved Fred. Yeah. So think about me as Fred. Like I was doing that stuff. I was like and running around type shit. And then so when people started finding out, I felt embarrassed. I was like, damn. So I started doing like a little bit more cool videos. And my views sunk. I lost it all. I lost everything. And then so junior year to like junior year of my videos were hanging on by a thread. Senior year, the shit was gone. And then so I had to get a job, college. And then, I kind of recently went back into YouTube, like probably like 2 years after college. But that's kind of how that went. And
what was like, how did it go from cringe to cool? What was the cool videos?
Just me talking. Before it was me, I had
like
one.
Acting?
Yeah, I had one where I was like, I totally forgot his name. His name was Ned or some shit like that. But it was like, oh no, Steven. His name was Steven. Rolled the clip. Imagine. Yeah, it was Steven. I had like cargo army shorts, like all the way up to my belly button. Then I like tucked in. I wear glasses, and it was just like one of the what is it? Forgot the seasons or whatever whatever it's called. But it was like Steven alone during the purge. So it was just me like. So after that, it just turned to like kind of like vlogging towards the camera, like almost it kind of turned into like podcast towards the camera, where I'm just talking to the camera. So it's like, so I ate my first foot-long Subway today. It was so good, and that because I do like little jump cuts.
Yeah.
So that's and then it switched to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the origin.
Damn, I guess people didn't fuck with cool. They didn't think that's not what works, you know?
I guess because it's like, it wasn't really him. It wasn't what
it wasn't really him. And it wasn't my audience.
Yeah.
And then so like I had a bunch of kids and now like listening about my day. Just like, that's not what they want. They want to see me fucking be goofy.
Yeah.
So I miss that guy.
I mean, have you ever seen those videos where people are like, you should strive to be cringe? Like, you should be...
I'm 100% on that side. Be cringe. Be cringe. Is be embarrassing. Fucking fail as many times as possible. Because, you know how many times I failed? My brother used to make fun of me. Because he's like, oh, what business you starting now? And I'm like, and then he was like, oh, weren't you just trying to run a festival like last month? I'm like, yeah. I was just always trying something. I always just wanted, I don't know, just always
seeing what sticks, right?
Something finally hit.
Yeah, and then something finally hit.
Yeah, how did that feel? Like when, because I don't know, you're like the most famous person I know. So I
appreciate that. I think it was weird. So I feel like there's some weird thing with the universe where it's like when you gain something, you lose something. Every single time. Like if something good is going to happen, something bad. It's like opportunity cost, balance out the fucking whatever it is. But it was a bittersweet when I hit 10,000 followers. The day I hit 10,000 followers, my dog died. And that was my dog. Like that was my fucking
Yeah.
16 years. So I was fucking crushed. But then I was also like, yo, this is my first 10K. And then, it was a weird feeling. And then after that, it just started popping. I still don't really feel it. Now, I honestly work. Shout out to Me Too. Now that I'm working at Me Too, I feel kind of a little bit more recognized. Where they're like, yo, like, this is what, like, you do it. Like, you're killing. Because I'm right now, I'm working with them to do, like, consulting for their podcast.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, like, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, like, they recognized all the work and everything. Because I've always felt hidden. I never felt like people like appreciated the behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just like turning on the camera and talking. There's like it's like strategies and all this other crazy shit. And then so they notice it and they're just like, we need that. And then they're like, we want you because you did this. And like I've done it with like 3 other podcasts. So now I'm kind of realizing, I was like, yeah, like, oh shit, like it's starting to hit. But also I feel like I'm gonna get fucking deep and I'm start crying.
No, go ahead. That's kind of like the whole vibe.
Fire. I even forgot the question. What was that?
How is it basically going from like unknown to known?
Yeah. Okay. It just it's more of a not. I mean, I'm never. There's still more to hit.
Yeah, of course.
So it's always that. Like I'd never feel like I made it, and like I still don't feel that way at all. But now I am noticing, like, yo, like my life's changing. Like this past month and 2, like I don't even have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about shit. Like I know I can afford it, which is insane to me. And I was venting to my cousin about this like 2 days ago. I was like, bro, I'm having like first generational guilt where it's like, my parents are still like working hard. My family's still working hard. My brother's fucking putting in 11-hour shifts at the post office. And I'm just going to network events. I'm going to parties. I'm meeting celebrities. I'm getting invited to all these bunch of cool premieres and a bunch of cool things. And like, I feel so guilty. And like, I feel like I like the money that I make, like, I don't want to say it's easy. Like it's definitely not like it's the money that comes through me is like just me just having fun. Whereas like my family's like they hate their job. They're working hard and I'm still like making more money than them. And it's just like, I feel guilty. Like I feel bad. And like, I was even telling my cousin, I was like, I just want to pay like everyone's debt. Like I can't pay everyone's debt yet, but that's just how I want to give all my money away to like my family just so I don't feel guilty. Cause like, I feel bad. Cause like I see my brother coming home from work and he's just all like sweaty, dirty. And I'm just on the desk, just like, hey, an air conditioner, especially in the summer. The summer is going to hit me the worst because literally that's all I think about my brother. Cause he's a mailman. So he's out like in like 110-degree weather, walking the whole day. And I'm in the air conditioner, just fucking chilling.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Honestly, it's a weird thing. I don't think I'll feel like I made it until like my parents and my brother don't work. As of right now, I'm just like straight tunnel vision grind time.
No, yeah, that's definitely like a first generational dream. Like I know for a fact for me, and I'm sure my sister, like being first generation, the dream is to like, oh, one day like I'm gonna pay my parents, I'm gonna buy them a house, I'm gonna make sure my brother and my siblings don't have to work, I'm gonna make sure like my future kids and my nephews, none of them will ever have to worry because like it's like you remember where you came from, right?
Yeah,
you remember where your family came from, and you want to make sure you get as far away from that as possible, right? It's like super tricky, especially because now that we're doing the show too, I think about that too, of like, because we have an older brother, I think about him all the time, like totally different life paths, totally different experiences. He works in the post office too.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we have a lot of similarities. First gen, private school, post office brother. So that's cool. I relate a lot to what you're saying, but it's all good, bro. It's cool to appreciate what you have though. I hope you feel that like you everything that you have, you also worked your ass off. Like you said, it wasn't like traditional, right? You didn't do it in a conventional way, but fuck man, you're like super talented in your marketing, your editing, like also on screen. I feel like your clips wouldn't do as good if you yourself weren't like that guy.
See, that's the thing people don't know. Like on camera, I'm a whole different person than in real life. Like on camera, like I play towards the camera. I'm more animated. So I have this character. like an internal character. He's like a fuckboy. He's a little toxic guy. So I'm just saying shit. Because I know it's gonna create a pop. It's gonna create a reaction, and people want to hear it. But then when you meet me in person, like everyone always tells me, like, yo, they'll be like, honestly, like, I just on the like 2 episodes ago, my friend Becca, she was like, honestly, so like on camera, you look like a fucking douchebag, but in real life, like you're like the most lovable, caring person. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate it. But that's kind of like what I do like on the camera. But then real life, I'm just like, fuck, like if anybody has a question, I'll answer it. Like I just want to help everyone. So I'm not a douchebag.
Yeah. You answered my question. You answered my question.
I'm pretty chill.
No, I mean, I 100% agree. I remember the first time we met. I had seen,
you were like, this guy's an asshole.
I can't wait to get one of these.
Who's this guy with the frosted tips?
No, but I had seen your guys' podcast before we even did like podcasting. Like your guys' clips would have come up in my TikTok or something. Yeah. So when we got invited on Bessie's, I remember being like, oh shit, that's the guy. Like I recognize that guy. And I just remember thinking like, they're probably all gonna be like super like influencer-y like, but you weren't. You were super cool and like super helpful. So I agree that you are a little different off air in a really good way though.
Yeah. Especially because since we grew up like here in LA, like we every now and then you just run into an influencer and they are that like that egomaniac and like not humble at all and like super like I don't know. Like self-entitled, like all that stuff.
I hate those people.
And I didn't think immediately when I saw you, I'm like, oh my God, like this guy's gonna be exactly like that. Yeah. But I didn't think you were gonna be as cool as you were.
Hi.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know? I mean, because I think those are the people who like the fame gets to them real quick. And I mean, I've been grinding since I was like fucking 11 years old. Yeah. So like I had my peaks, I've had my drops. I think what really helped me was the realizing of like, yo, don't cater to people because like be true to yourself. And that's when the success comes. Cause I remember like, I just remember realizing, I was like, bro, I really had a fan base. Yeah. I really had money and like I left it all because of what people thought of me. And then so after that, I was like, man, I'm just gonna be myself. I don't give a fuck. And then there's an audience for you. Like you can, this is a thing I like to think about. It's like, we're not actually really like, everyone likes to think they're unique, but you're not really unique. Like as much as like it hurts to say, there's millions of people just like you. So if you just act like yourself on camera, you'll attract those people who are just like you. So you can find success being someone who you naturally are. Yeah. So that's my advice to everyone trying to do videos.
Well, you learned it at a very young age. Like you said, like you had your come up and then you went down and then now you kind of learned it.
I remember I was so depressed, bro. I remember I was even crying at one point because I was like, bro, what the fuck did I do with my life? I remember I did construction because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I fucking hate my life. And then I did the post office. And the post office was where I kind of felt like I settled. I was like, all right, I got a good government job. This is what my family wants. I got a bunch of good benefits. I'm making really good money. I'm getting a lot of good hours. Fuck yeah, I'm just going to save up money and then later on do real estate. And I was settled on that. I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. And then I remember, shout out to the Crazy Gorilla. I remember they posted they got invited by Univision to like some Premios Juventud. And they like flew them out to Miami. They got like a sick ass hotel and they put like a story like Una Noche en Miami. I remember I was sitting I was on lunch in my fucking mail truck and I was looking at that and I was like, what the fuck? Like that's what I want. Like that's why I realized like this is not what I want to do. I want to like do that. And then so this is a random question. I don't know if you talked about this with your brother. But like, you said your brother's post office, right? Yeah. Has he ever cried working there?
Not from my knowledge. Not from my knowledge.
So there's a thing. He probably has. There's a thing. They literally tell you this in the academy working in the post office. It's like, you are going to cry. Like this. And it's crazy to think like, yo, the post office must be so easy. But they're like, you're going to cry. And then I hearing that, I was like, bro, I'm never going to cry delivering mail. Like, how the fuck am I going to cry? And I remember I broke down. I was like, I broke down in the mail truck. I called the dude. I was like, yo, I quit. I'm bringing everything back. I don't care. And he's like, no, we'll send. But because I remember it was like 9 p.m., 9:30. It was cold. It was raining. I was lost. And I was like, bro. And then I saw that story. I was like, this is not who I want to be. And then so I was just like, all right. And then the biggest fear too, I was like, I can't quit because I was like the talk of the town for my family. Like, oh, Saul got a government job again. Cause like we're first generation. Everyone came out here and they see me working with the government. They're like, oh, Saul did it. Like he's doing the dream. So I didn't want to quit because I didn't want to let my family down. But then I came to that point where I was like, this is not what I want to do. And then so I quit. I didn't even tell my mom I was quitting. Like I quit. I told her and she was fucking mad. She was mad. Because before that, I quit college. Forgot to mention that part. I quit college.
I was going to ask you. Yeah.
And she was mad. Oh my God, I can go forever. So now I got to backtrack about college. We might be talking about college later. But yeah, she was mad that I quit college. So that was disappointment number one. I disappointed her. And then the second one, she was super happy I'm working at the government. I quit. She was pissed. And then everyone, like all my tios, all my tias, they're all calling me dumb. They're like, you serious? Like this is the American dream and you just quit it? Like, what do you want to do? Become an actor? Like, because that's when I was pursuing acting. So I was just getting hit from every side. There was only one person that I remember like was really supporting was my cousin Gabby. And like, I owe her everything. She was telling me like, you've been doing it forever. Like, keep it going. So I just remember doing that. And then so the podcast. And then I started working at Amazon because I was like, fuck, I actually need a job. Because, I mean, I can't make money like acting right now.
I got to eat every
I got to eat. So I started working at Amazon. And then I got tired of all the music I was listening to. And I was like, let me turn on a podcast. What the fuck is a podcast? Let me see what it is. And then that's where it all started. I was like, oh, these podcasts are pretty cool. And then I remember searching like Mexican American podcasts and then Mexican American friends just to see like, because I just want to hear people talk shit and I couldn't find anything. And I was like, And I hit up my homie, David. Shout out Taro. He was, I told him, I was like, and then at this time is when like crypto was blowing up and everything. And I was like, hey, bro, like I have the best stock for you. He's like, what is it? I was like, invest in my podcast. And he's like, all right. And he shot me $400 like after the phone call. And like I was in the Amazon truck and I bought like a bundle of like podcast equipment. And then I called my homies, Aaron and Caesar. I was like, yo, I have an idea. Pull up tomorrow. And then we just shot the first episode. And then that's how it all just came to be.
How fast did you guys blow up? Like when was it when you guys started seeing like numbers or like your TikTok?
I think by like episode 6. Because I remember episode 6 was when we got Leo. And then so to get Leo Gonzalez, to get him on the show, we had to be traction. Yeah. So he was our first guest. Shout out Leo for being our first guest. So I think by episode 6, I saw it, but wasn't really making money because you have to have like 10,000 followers on TikTok. You got to have I forgot how many YouTube subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, so that's kind of how I think it probably took us like by a year. I quit. I probably like have like 6 months. I quit Amazon, and then but like at Amazon, like I wasn't ready to like live off videos, but I did have like 3 months of money that I can like use for rent. So I was like, yo, in these 3 months, I gotta fucking kill it. And then Besties came along, and then Besties killed it, and I was like, yo, I can pay all my bills. I can't like have fun. I can't go to clubs. I can't go to the places, but I can pay all my bills, and that's all that matters. So that's how that happened.
Dude, that's hard to like put away, like basically just dedicate yourself to the craft and not be like have to push everything else aside. Yeah. That's hard, man. I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of fall off.
That's what I think. This honestly, my thing that's always pushed me through was like, are you down to struggle for a year? If you know, maybe like, fuck it. Are you down to struggle for 2 years? If you know for the rest of your life, you'll be successful and you'll be good. I'm like, fuck yeah. Give me these 2 years. I'll struggle. I'll barely eat. I'm down. If that means for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be set. So that's what that was the mindset going in. I was like, I'm down to struggle because I've noticed that's kind of like, well, I've seen that like success usually comes around like year 5, but like now with TikTok, it's been a little changing, but usually year 5, and then consistency, like it's just gonna come. Just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, like discipline, dedication.
Yeah, hard work meets luck at one point, and
An explosion.
An explosion. Big bang.
Brent,
you mentioned earlier, right, about how like you've kind of done a lot of stuff, and you talked about I like what you said about kind of leaning into being cringe and all that stuff. And I think that keeps a lot of people from doing a lot of things. So I think a lot of people have trouble even doing one thing, like whether it's like starting a podcast or like getting into acting or making music or stuff. Yeah. You do like all of that. Yeah. You're a comedian. You act. You produce podcasts. You're in a podcast. You made how do you like? Where does that come from?
How do you have time to sleep and like?
Yeah. No, I don't sleep, bro. I gotta chill out.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's bad. Like even tonight, I probably won't sleep till like 2 a.m. But I do prioritize. I'll take a nap any chance I get. If I can nap, I'll take a nap. But sorry, going back to your question. So getting into like just like without like how just doing things without
fear of failure, right?
Yeah, fear of failure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready to fail, because like that's where success is. I'm ready to fail. Like if I want, like you can't win without failing. So I'm like, I feel like that's like the life cheat code. Once you realize like failing is success, I just want to fail as many times as possible, because something's gonna come out of it, and then you just learn. Like the craziest thing is just learning from failing. You're not gonna learn from success. If you learn from success, it's just things you already know, and you're not growing. But if you learn from failing, so I was like, yeah, let me do this. Like, and then when you're like, for example, like in high school, I wanted to do like a festival. I wanted to like run a festival at the school. So I started just searching up a bunch of things about how to run festivals. Then I started just going in that. That didn't work out, but I kind of got some information on how to do that now. And then with the song, I was like, why not just do a song? And then so I kind of learned about like lyric, like structure, like writing music. I learned about the structure. And then I learned about like audio engineering. And then that kind of also led me to like learning a little bit more about engineering the podcast. So I think every failure, even though you failed, I think it's going to come back later on as like a full circle moment. And like, oh, remember you failed at this, but you learned this and now you're using it over here. So I think that's where
it like eventually aligned.
Yeah, it'll eventually align. So I think that's where I'm at. I just tell people, I was like, if you have an idea, go do it. Like you're wasting time not doing it. So that's where I think
like
that's
the inches add up to miles, right?
Yeah.
Every inch
adds to a mile, like that. Yeah.
It was cool. I was low-key watching your old videos. I was trying to find your YouTube.
Which like ones on like YouTube? Like where I'm acting in skits and stuff?
Where I think there's a video where you did doing like the gym at home.
See, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Wait, what was it?
It was just like him working out at home. He's like, you don't have to go to the gym. You could just do it at home. And then he's like carrying books, and he's like, with these books, I'm gonna just do 3. I don't want to show off. Yeah. And he would do it all the time. And he's like, another thing is like, you can put them in a backpack. And then he starts doing push-ups. And I read the comments, and we were like, he can barely do the push-ups. But he's like, and then he's like, I'm only gonna. And every single time you always say it, I'm only gonna do 3 because I don't want to show off.
I don't want to show off.
I like that.
And it's just like a whole 5-minute video of him doing like workouts at home.
But only 3 because I don't want to show off.
Yeah. And I was just like, damn, you look like such a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, it's baby Saul?
Yeah,
baby Saul. And like high pitch voice and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly, I think that kind of helped me because I've always been cringe. Like I've always had a high pitch voice. So like I just don't care.
Like you're naturally funny. Like you're just a really funny guy.
Thank you.
And I also saw that like your most viral was
about a week ago.
Yeah, about a week ago.
It
has like 2 million views on YouTube.
I like to say that like I was the original TikTok lip syncer guy, because you know how like people like on TikTok there's like a trend where like they make a skit out of like a song lyric. Like I used to do that all the time. That's what like blew up my channel. Yeah. Like about a week ago, I asked my cousin like, "Oh, when was the last time you saw your dad?" "Oh, about a week ago." And then we'll go to the next thing. "Oh, when was something you did this?" "Oh, about a week ago." And then I'll just add the song. And then so I would do that to a bunch of videos. Yeah. And so that's kind of how that originated.
No, I swear I saw that.
Stevie has a video where he did that too. I have a random video in my phone where Stevie did the same song, and it's weirdly like edited. I don't know how it got edited. I don't even know how I did
TikTok,
that. Before TikTok, before anything, it's like edited. And I just remember just watching like your videos, and I was like, I feel like there's some weird alignment here, because then you also talk about how your inspiration is like Mad TV. And Stevie talks about that too.
Sick.
So I was kind of like, wow.
There's a lot of similarities. I know. Everything that.
It's like, and I remember just watching everything last night, and I was like, there's some weird alignment here.
You're like, you feel the universe.
Yeah.
It's like too much. Yeah. I feel that too. Brandon, do you have anything to say?
Like, well, you mentioned earlier, right, that you Googled like Mexican American podcasts and stuff like that. obviously you're a Latino man. Have you found it like? Have you noticed any struggle given the fact that you're a Latino man? Do you feel like you've seen other people's success because they're not Latino, or is that never really been an issue for you?
I think we're at a place right now where we should use our Latino to our advantage, because right now they're just, if you're Latino, you're getting hired. So I'm noticing that shift. Like the people before us, they made great work in standing up for like the Latino culture, where like the representation is like finally coming.
Yeah.
And I think now is like the perfect time. Like if you're a Latino and you've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry, now is the perfect time. So I haven't really found any struggles with it. I just find a lot of opportunities, because I just put literally in my hashtags, I put Latino podcast, because I know like a lot of like bigger companies, they're looking for like representation. So they're just going to search up Latino podcasts. So I'm just using it. Shout out to the forefathers who've paved the way for us, because it's
The forefathers.
Yeah, it's working out. And it's kind of just been like literally the success from the podcast has just been by like just making videos on Latino culture. And it's not us like trying to exploit it.
Yeah.
It's just us it just comes natural. Like we're talking, because we don't have a script on the podcast. And then so we'll say something that brings up memories. And then I was like, oh, that was really funny. Let's clip it. And we like a lot of his success came from like Latino throwback stuff. And then, so I shout out to, the culture.
No, yeah, I know. Right now there's like a big like boom. Like there's, it's like Namor. It was in Black Panther 2. Bad
Blue
Bunny.
Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. Yeah, there's a bunch of shows. This Fool. There's like this huge boom for like Latinos. So it is cool, because like it's as if like we're finally getting like our dues paid. Which is pretty cool. But I wanted to ask you. So there's one thing that I have noticed since I met you guys that I noticed is a prominent topic in the stuff that you guys talk about, and it's the presence of the ladies, the girls.
It's sad right now, bro.
Wait, why? Okay, we can get into that after. But you even released a song. Let's talk about
bitches.
Yeah, it's low-key kind of catchy. But I actually want to know. I'm genuinely curious. How has like the show affected your dating life? Like, has it
fucking sunk?
Really?
Yeah, you would think it'd be the opposite, but fucking sunk. Like, it's just because like I put entertainment before personal relationships, like with like girls, because I'm trying to like, my vision, my goal is to succeed and to like make it out. My goal is not to find love. Like my goal is to succeed and make it out. And then once I make it out, then I can find love. But right now, so because of that, I do so like I said earlier, like I have like this little fuckboy character or whatever. So I act like a fuckboy on the show. So girls who meet me, they like do some digging, they do some searching, they see my videos, they see some clips, they see some things I say, and I just get in trouble with it. And then it's just a bunch of that stuff going back and forth. I just recently got blocked like 2 days ago because of that, because of something I said. I don't even know what I said. She was like, we are done, blocked. And I was like, what'd I say? And shit turned green. I was like, I don't even know what I said. But yeah, so I'm not really too focused on relationships, even though it's fucking lonely, dude. Like I saw like a quote. It was like every entrepreneur should have a dog, because very lonely. Like you're not, because I did notice last year I was a little situationship, and I noticed myself like kind of like slacking off. Like even like I had a study for like maybe a topic or filming something. I'd always postpone it because I would want to hang out with this one girl. So I did notice like a little, I was like, okay, I'm getting too distracted with like these girls. So it's fine. It's fine that I'm sad and single and lonely or whatever. If you want to like come help or whatever.
Do any of your co-hosts, do they experience the same thing?
My co-hosts?
Yeah, do they experience the same thing with girls?
Nah, I think Caesar, he doesn't really like say too much. Like he knows how to like keep it locked down. But like I don't care. Like I'm gonna say shit. Like I think it's fun. It's entertainment, and it's a character. But people don't see it like that. So Caesar, he just knows how to be a little bit more reserved with this stuff. And then Aaron, he's just a funny guy. Aaron, he just doesn't. I caught Aaron. He can pull, but he doesn't have he's not there yet. He doesn't have the confidence yet. But he for sure. He's an attractive looking man. But he's just very right now. He's just kind of on his sad journey as well.
But yeah, I get you.
I think I don't want to expose him too much. But yeah,
I get you. That's his story.
Yeah, that's his story.
So you haven't run into girls who like were maybe trying to take advantage of the fact that you have like a social media presence? There's never been any stories like that.
There has.
But you don't kiss and tell?
No, I kiss and tell. So there's Rebecca. This once, I'm not kidding. Nah, I mean, I catch it right off the bat. Like, I already know, like,
really,
for sure.
So you see it already?
I see it 100%.
What gives it away, though?
What's the easiest giveaway is just, like, girls at high school, the ones that have been coming back from high school, because they didn't. I remember who talked shit. I remember all that stuff. And they come back, they follow me, they hit me up in the DMs. Like, oh my God, so I'm so proud of you. I was like, the fuck? Like, you're not. I remember this one girl. I went live on Instagram one time, and then I had a crush on this girl, bro. I had a huge crush on this girl. And I remember, I don't know why, but she ended up blocking me. I never even talked to her. I had 2 conversations with her. One conversation, she randomly came up to my desk and she drew me a picture. She's like, oh, I liked your name so much, I drew you a picture of your name. I was like, oh, cool. Ever since then, I fell in love. And then the second time, probably just something about homework. And then I got blocked. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then recently, probably like 3 months ago, I was on Instagram Live. And I saw that she joined it. And then she was like, oh my God, Saul, I'm so proud of you, whatever. And I was like, oh, what's up? How you doing? Like, I saw her on the thing. She was like, remember when we had like Miss Elizabeth class for math? And I was like, no, I never had a Miss Elizabeth ever. Like, you're getting me confused right now. I was like, yeah. So I noticed that happening. And then, so that's just like, I noticed it more on the high school people, but then also noticed like, there's like clout chasers, but like, I don't give in. Like, if they want to smash, I'll smash, but you're not getting on the show. You know?
He's like, you're not getting this money.
Yeah.
Have you met like people beyond like, I guess, romantic relationships? So you've had people who like were hating on you and then they switched over, they turned a new leaf?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It feels great.
Yeah?
Yeah. It feels like, damn, like whatever I'm doing, like, it's working. Cause like the best thing to do is like prove like your doubters wrong. So it's like people who doubted me. And then, you know, shout out, I have a family member. She was one of the ones that said that I was very dumb for like leaving the post office, and she would like talk a lot of shit. And then I posted a video like recently, and then she went in the comments. She's like, hey, like I apologize. Like, I'm sorry. Like I was one of those people. So she owned up to it and she apologized. And I was like, that means a lot.
Yeah. On the inside, you were like, fuck yeah. I fucking told you.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. When it comes to like this entertainment world or whatever you want to do, it's just like, just believe in yourself and later it'll come. But you just got to be delusional and just trust yourself and just go.
But I wanted to, we already kind of touched upon it like a little bit, but like for me and I'd say for Brandon and for my sister, going from like when we first started doing like podcasting and then having some clips like start getting some attention, for me it was like really a mind fuck. Like I couldn't believe there was like these many people who like, they don't know me, but like they know of my existence, right? Yeah. Like it was like such a super mind fuck for me. And for you, you're like on like a different level of that. Like how was it like when it first hit you? You know, like what was your mentality on it? Like, especially because obviously you guys get hate, you know, everybody gets hate. Like, how do you deal with that?
I think one of the crazy parts is like, you never know who's watching. Like, especially when you're on TikTok, like everyone's on TikTok. So you never know who's watching. It could be like Susan from across the street or an A-list celebrity. So that's why I say, like, even for you guys, if you guys got a podcast, just shoot your shot to anyone. Chances are they've seen you. So for example, like, I remember Snow the Product. Shout out to Snow the Product. I've always wanted her on the show because I love everything she stands for and everything she represents. But I was always shy. I was like, she's not gonna be on our show. Like, we're a little like, she's not gonna be on our show. Yeah. But then I was like, you know, fuck it, let me shoot my shot. And then she was like, she saw it. She's like, oh my God, yes, like I love you. I love your guys' clips. And I was like, oh shit. So it's crazy. That's kind of why I started realizing where you shoot your shot. And then Cap G, you guys know Cap G? Like, I just took a man with your girlfriend. I hit him up too, and he's like, oh yeah, bro, I fuck with you guys. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? So you never know. I think that's when I started realizing it's like, oh shit, like we're really out there. because like you see the numbers, like they don't really mean anything. Cause like, I mean, I've never really sold out a show. I've never had like a whole ass audience where I'm like, oh shit, these are people that fuck with me. Yeah. So I've never really actually visibly seen it. I just see the number. So it's very easy to like not even like, cause even 1,000 is so many people. So it just it plays with you. But yeah, just realizing that like whoever you DM, they'll open it. It's like, oh wow. And then getting recognized in public is a whole different thing. It's just like, yo, this is crazy.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that like?
It's cool.
Have people asked for pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember the best one. It was my friend's birthday. And we went to a bar. We went to Sharky's. And then I was chilling because I got invited like as like a +1 because it was my friend's girlfriend's birthday. So she invited all her homegirls. And then so it was just him and then myself and then some other dude. And then after we're like, oh, let's go to Sharky's. It's like right here. So we went to Sharky's. So I'm like with all these girls, right? I was looking all cool. And then like 3 people recognized me and they're like, oh my God, so like, no, let me get a picture. Let me buy you a shot. And the girls next to me, they're like, yo, who's this? Like, who we come with? Yeah. And then they explained it. So that made me feel really cool. I was like, all these girls like, oh, what the hell? Like, you're. I was like, yeah. So and then, yeah, just usually when I go, oh, you know what was the best one? Yo, I just remember this right now.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh, my God. So it all started in 2018. Fell in love. There's this girl I really liked. And we went on like the most perfect date to the OC fair. The most perfect. We did all the head ass things you do at the fair. Did everything. Like photo booth, won her a prize, Ferris wheel, everything. And then it wasn't even over there. We're like we didn't want the night to end. We're like, oh, let's go to the beach because it's like right there. And we found like an abandoned lighthouse. And we sat on top of the lighthouse and it was a full moon and we were just watching boats pass by. And it was just the most magical moment. And then the next day, at that time she was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Knott's Berry Farm with like my cousins the next day. I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. So next day I text her. She doesn't really reply to me much. Next day I was like, oh, who cares? She's with her cousins at Knott's Berry Farm. But then I started getting toxic. And then I went on her Twitter and I saw her like active on Twitter. And then she was calling some other guy babe. And then I got so mad and there's no reason for me to get mad. Like that was like my 3rd date with her. And I was already treating her like she was my girlfriend or something. So I sent her like a huge paragraph, like long. And I was like, and then at the end I was like, I regret everything I ever told you. I felt like I was in a fucking movie or some shit. Right? So I fucked up. She blocked me or whatever. And she blocked me and on everything. And then recently, St. Patrick's Day, I went to a club and I bumped into her. And then she was like, oh my God, so like I see you on the podcast now. And I'm like, yeah. Take me back. But she didn't.
Like, I'm ready. So like, what does this mean? Like,
yeah, she unblocked me though, so that's cool. But I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, cool. Like she recognized it.
But so like when you get hate, that doesn't get to you? No, not at all.
Hate does not bother me at all, bro. There's some things that like stick with me, but like hate for the most part, I don't look at comments at all. The only comments I look at are like my personal Instagram and YouTube comments because TikTok just gets pushed out to everyone. And there's way more haters in the world than supporters. I just don't look at that. And then some people are just so dumb. So I just
like dead ass. Sometimes I see some comments that it's like somebody hating, but it's like something that doesn't even make sense. It's like
it just makes my head hurt.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'd rather just not read them. So
I always think it's funny when you see like people fighting in your comments.
I love it. Bro, the engagement goes crazy.
Bro, exactly. Yeah.
I love when they argue because they're just creating more comments and just pushing my video up.
Yeah.
Cool. And it's funny too because like it becomes, at first it was about your video and then they argue so much it's like not even about like you guys anymore.
They're just attacking each other.
You guys might as well DM each other at this point.
Like, you just want to FaceTime each other or some shit. Have you guys gotten a comment that was just so weird that it's stuck to you to this day? Like you just think about it?
I think about the first comment we ever got was on TikTok. Was I think like our first reel. We were talking about Taco Bell. We were talking about how
burritos, right? It was burritos.
Oh yeah, no. That's what the comment said. So we were talking about Taco Bell, and we were saying like, I know that Taco Bell isn't Mexican food, but whatever it is, it's pretty fucking good. I don't know. Like, I like it. Like, we all like it. And then, like, that's all we basically said. And then literally only one comment, like, only a few people saw it. This rando just commented, burritos aren't Mexican, dumbass. And I'm like,
that's what we said.
We never said that. Like, never in this did we say that. Like, so I took a screenshot of it, and one day I want to frame it and just like put it on, because it was our first ever comment, and it didn't even make sense.
That's funny.
So that's the one that sticks to me. What about you?
Mine was so I would do like a lot of like Mexican like hidden culture. So I was doing that, and then at the time I had like dyed hair, and then I remember someone left a comment like, I'm not listening to no clown with dyed hair, no, with blonde hair. I was like, all right. I mean, no. I was like, bro, I bet you the stuff I told you, I bet you did not know. But you don't want to listen. But you don't want to listen because I have blonde hair.
Yeah.
So it made me. It got me mad. Thanks about it.
Stuck with you, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's funny how sometimes, like, at least for me, like the comments do get me sometimes, but like it sucks because sometimes I could see a really like mean comment and it like whatever, like I don't really care. But sometimes I see a comment that's just like a little mean, and for some reason that's the one that I think about the most. Yeah,
the most.
I'm like, man, like why does that one, like I'm at night, like I can't sleep, like I'm thinking about that one guy username like 420, like commenting the most random shit.
You know what's funny? Like a funny trend going on TikTok right now, and they've been doing this to me a lot. Like whenever I go live, like someone will join and they'll be like, "Oh, I have a lazy eye too." And I'm like, wait, what? Or they'll be like,
I seen it.
Yeah. Or they'll be like, oh, we love a short king. And I was like,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. What? I love those.
I like the ones where they'll take a picture of the person from like their Instagram and then they'll like edit it a little bit and they'll be like, oh my gosh, like we look the same. And then the person will be like, no, you're ugly, you know? Like, they're talking about themselves.
Yeah.
I've seen the one where it's like a guy calling, like there's like cholos going live or like gangsters going live, and they're like, babe, like don't be mad, babe. And like they're getting fucking pissed because like, hey, I'm not your babe, like stop calling me that. Like I don't know who you think I am, like I'm not your babe. I like those. But my final question before I move it on to my sister. So you've been doing stand-up, right? Yeah. And I've just been wondering, like, how is it going up on stage? Because we were there, for those of you listening and watching, we were there when you did Chicano
Comedy
night.
Festival.
Yeah, and, like, there was a lot of people, man. Like, I couldn't imagine,
it was
like...
1,000.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like, me being up there, you know? Or the three of us, like, being up there. So, like, you have my fucking, like respect, bro. Because, like, damn, how was that like?
Yeah. So... like right before going on stage, I was nervous as fuck. Like my cousin sent me a video because she was in the crowd, like of me pacing back and forth. I don't remember pacing back and forth. I thought I was pretty chill, but I was pretty nervous. I was just kind of like getting all the jitters out. Yeah. But once I'm on stage, it's like go time. It's like I'm not even nervous on stage anymore. I'm just like fucking like talking shit, having fun. And it's the thing, like I was having such a good time that I didn't know that people were booing and people were talking shit. Did you guys hear any people boo?
I don't think so.
While you're performing, no.
We got a lot of those. My cousins were like, oh, there's a bunch of people booing. People in the front, they're booing. They're telling us to get off stage.
Oh, we were all the way in the back.
Yeah,
like,
we were all
literally all the way in the back because we were smoking. So.
Yeah, we were smoking.
So they were booing. But I honestly didn't hear. I was having the best time of my life. And then when they told me like, oh yeah, people were booing, I was like, oh, for real? That's crazy. That sucks. Like I was having a great ass time. So just me being on stage is a fun ass time. Like I did the Ontario Improv. Like a month ago. That one was really cool. That one was like packed out. Shout out to Jesus Sepulveda. I opened up for him and I had a bunch of like friends show up. I had a bunch of like people who watch the podcast show up. And I remember that was my first time being by myself. Cause when we did the Chicano Comedy Festival, it was us three. Yeah. This time it was like by myself. Like I got to make these people laugh. I'm in my hometown. It's got to go crazy. So I did have like the little jitters. Well, I had this is what fucked me up, because I did a show like a couple of days before that, like that no one knew about, just so I can prepare, and I bombed the fuck out of it, and it was the exact same jokes. So going into like 2 days later, it was a show, and I was like, oh shit, like I don't know if I'm ready. But then I didn't say I was ready, but I was like, I was just nervous that time, and I got a little drunk because I was nervous. So I was like, all right, in Ontario, I'm not gonna drink, and I'm just gonna have a good time. And like I knew my material like from the back, like I can recite it backwards and everything. So there's no way of me fucking up. Now I just gotta have fun and enjoy the time. So going up like before, like 2 hours ahead, like I was like, okay, I'm not gonna drink, but I'm gonna get a Red Bull. So I started drinking a Red Bull. I had like 3 Red Bulls. And by the time I was my turn to go up, I was like all jittery and shit. So I didn't know if I was like jittery because of the Red Bull or because I was nervous. But as soon as like I hit the stage, everything went calm and like I killed it. Like I had like the whole place like roaring in laughter. That shit was dope. It was a great experience. Shout out to Jesus.
Good. I don't know if you remember, we actually ran into you on Chicano night, and you did tell us you were a little lit.
Yeah.
Which is like, not to say you were breaking any laws, but we also ran into you while you were driving.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that night was this trip. It was so that night was crazy. So right before that, I was at a TikTok event, and they had like free alcohol, and that's why I met Snow the product face to face. So we were talking, we're like drinking, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta dip, I gotta go to a show right now. So I dipped. I was wasn't too lit, but I had like just for video's sake, I had a driver. Right, you guys saw me in the passenger seat. I was in the passenger seat actually.
Yeah. He looks a lot like you. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I put up. I was already lit, and then every time you do comedy shows, whenever you're like doing shows, they're giving you free alcohol. So I was just like drinking.
Okay, yeah.
And then besides, like after that show, it was also my friend's birthday, and he's a DJ. So we went to another club right after that and drank more there. That night was just a lot of drinking. I don't drink as much anymore though. I try not to.
No,
drink.
why not?
It's
just
bad.
problems.
Not problems, but I hate being hungover, and I hate the next day is always wasted.
Yeah.
Like I can't like the next day you just don't want to do anything, and you're so lazy. So I'm like, I hate feeling this way. Like there goes a day gone. So I just try not to drink anymore.
Especially you. I mean, obviously, like we talked about, you're like super busy. So the whole day is like basically somebody's week, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just like not trying to. I was like, I don't want to waste any days. But like on weekends, I don't do anything. That's why I kind of keep myself sane in this whole podcast thing. Monday to Friday, I'm grinding the fuck out of it. Saturday and Sunday, I'm not doing shit.
Chilling.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
That's good.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Well, you've been working really hard though.
Thank you.
I feel like you deserve to also give yourself your own flowers, you know?
Appreciate
like,
it.
I know you've talked about it before of like, you feel like the guilt. But I mean, you've been doing this since what, you're 11?
Yeah.
So I feel like you also deserve to give yourself your flowers.
Thank you.
Look at where you are now. I mean, when I first saw you, I think it was at the podcast pit. And I remember being like, oh shit, like I know that guy. And then it was just like, we never thought like you'd be in our circle. So it's been cool.
Yeah, I've seen you guys before, like the podcast pit. I remember seeing you guys like on the show, like with them. Shout out to them, dope people. But I was like, they can do a little bit more. Because like I saw like your guys' quality. I was like, there's more here. And that's when I had a word with you guys secretly. I was like, hey guys.
We had a secret Illuminati meeting.
Yeah, that's when they joined the Illuminati.
Yeah. He's like, join this side. Yeah. No, but I was going to say, do you feel like, well, since you're from the IE, right? For those who don't know what IE is, the Inland Empire, do you feel like people, at least coming here to LA, do you think people treat you differently? Like being from the IE? Yeah.
So? I'm currently in I'm not currently in a situation, but we had a situation not too long ago where a really big podcast from LA were just talking shit about us. And I've never...
No, just kidding.
It was you guys. like I've never talked to any of them before. I've never interacted with them before. And they're like, their first video, they brought us up in a weird way, like comparing us. Yeah. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Like, whatever. The second video was worse. That one, I know. It was so, like, I know what episode number and I know what minute. But I remember hearing it, and I was like, they're basically what they said. They're like, oh, we don't. So they're assuming that we paid like Instagram pages and TikTok pages to repost our stuff. Yeah, which I've never done that. I've never spent money on marketing, and then that's dumb because you should be spending money on marketing because you're a business. But either way, like I've never done it. But they were on their show, they're saying like, oh yeah, we don't have to spend money on TikTok pages like other IE podcasts. And I was like, we are kind of the IE podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, it's in the name. And then one person was like, oh yeah, I never have to pay them because I never have to pay those pages because they always show me love. And the other host was like, yes, because you're real comedy. And I was like, the fuck? Like, what's up with these? Like, what's up with that?
But why do you think that is? What do you think the random jabs are for? Literally no idea.
And it gets me so disappointed because they're also Latinos.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
like, bro, like, why are you doing this? Like, and then I've gotten a lot of comments of people saying like, oh, you guys should collab. Like, you guys will be the best collab. And like, I was like, yeah, that would be a great collab. But now they're like throwing jabs like that. I was like, unnecessary. I mean, they never really said our name. They just say the IE podcast.
Yeah.
But, and then we do have a lot of those pages that they mentioned do post us a lot. That's just because we're funny. We say some funny things. So I was a little.
He's like, oh, my fault.
Yeah,
I probably just.
So I feel like that's the whole LAIE thing. Maybe what I like to think, it's like, oh, maybe it's just like a little fun rivalry.
Oh, I get you.
So I hope.
That's cool then.
I hope, because
Yeah.
I hate being against other Latinos.
Is that the only time you've ever experienced that? Like through that?
Yeah, I would say so. Like podcast related, but you just always hear like on Twitter, social media, don't go to the IE and shit like that. You know, you guys know, like, you guys know how that goes.
Yeah, Vanessa tells us,
Yeah. I mean, there's some facts to that.
Or it's like the meme. It's like the meme that you guys posted. You take
He's
the
like,
red pill or the blue
Blue
pill.
pill, fuck. I'm in the IE. Yeah, that shit's funny. Yeah.
Nah, that's just my experience with the IE.
Yeah.
But besides that, don't be fooled. Like, there's a bunch of influencers that live in the IE. The IE, there's a new hub out there.
I feel like I've seen it with you, yeah, and like you guys have a growing pool of like talent there.
But even bigger than me, like these makeup influencers, like these beauty influencers, like really like in the millions, 2 millions, like a lot of them live like out there. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? It's funny because
is the rent good out there or what?
it's a little better than out here for sure. And then
The what?
Rent.
Oh, the rent.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like my cousin, she does like sweets and she does a lot of promos to like a bunch of influencers. And then she tells me, like, hey, did you know like this person lives like down the street? And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Person got like 2 million followers. I was like, hey, get him on my show.
Just on Halloween when you're trick or treating, just go to their house. You're like, oh shit, I didn't know you lived here. So you still trick or treat? All right. Sorry, Julie, were you gonna say something?
No, you're good. I was just thinking of other stuff, but yeah. So just how you mentioned back again with like your mom and everything, like getting pushback. Do you feel, is that still something that like goes on or no?
Nah. Like everyone's super like now, like everyone, like I love, like my family like shows me off now, which is like a really cool.
They used to hide you in the closet.
Yeah, they used to hide me. Now they show me off. And it's fine. Like I like it. It's cool. Like I like, because I mean, I understand it. Like I understood why they're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they want security. But then like I deep down, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was going to get. So I just had to shut everything out.
Yeah.
So I don't really hold any like remorse to them. I was like, I get it. Like you're a parent. You want the best for me. And then because online social media is so new to them.
Yeah.
So I didn't take anything deeply. So now like everyone's like my uncles, my tios, when they introduce me to people, like, oh, he does this, he does that. Oh, really, really? Oh, he just did work with these people. Oh, he just met this person. So I like it. It's very cool. They're all very supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool. Because I'm always like, especially with our parents, I'm always like, I wonder if they're always just curious or like how they feel about it.
I know.
I mean,
right?
sometimes I feel like they do question it. And my mom follows us. She
Oh,
follows
fire.
our podcast.
But she like never brings it up.
Yeah.
at all.
She never really like brings it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Or,
I might as
she-
well.
yeah, or she doesn't tell us like, oh, you should stop doing it, or like, don't do
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Like, get another job or something.
she ever brought
It's
up like the comments, like, oh, why are people telling you guys this?
She doesn't know English.
No,
so,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So no, and honestly, I'm so happy. It's so funny because my mom, I see her. She sometimes practices like, she's practicing her English. Like she wants to
nice.
learn how to speak English. And I, in a way, like I don't want her to learn because I don't want her. Like I feel so comfortable that I can say whatever I want, and knowing that like my mom like doesn't understand anything I say. Like I'm like I could be so like out of pocket or like, or I could just start saying like some really progressive things, and then my mom won't even know what I'm talking about.
For real. Yeah, my mom just downloaded Instagram like a couple months ago, and she's never been on social media, so she's never known. For my mom, I've always been an angel, a saint, right? She doesn't know about the shit I talk about. And now like I'm pretty sure she follows the podcast page too, and I say a bunch of crazy shit. But actually, I still don't know, because I remember one time, she was talking to like a friend of hers who had like a kid, probably like in like elementary school or something. And then she was telling the kid like, oh, you should follow my son. He's like popular on Instagram. I was like, no, you shouldn't follow me. Like, I say some bad shit. Like, don't. So I don't think my mom still knows what I talk about.
That's funny too. That's funny you bring that up. I remember one time we got a comment. Shout out to them though. They messaged us saying that like their son, you know what I'm talking about? Their son watches us.
Oh, yeah.
And that she's like really proud because there's so much like bad content on the internet, and she's glad that her son is listening to good role models. And I remember I told Brandon, I'm like, bro, what? Like some of the shit we say on here, like, like I guess, but like it was weird because I felt now the pressure of like, damn, like, do I gotta start being like a lot more classy?
Yeah.
Like,
Don't do it. I got invited to a middle school. No, yeah, a middle school to go like speak to the kids, and like, and like the teacher who invited me, like she listens to the podcast, and since she was like, hey, you should come to the like for career day, just so like, because a lot of them like everyone like the number one job, the number one career kids want to do now is like social media.
Yeah.
So she was like, she wanted to bring me over just to like tell the kids all that stuff, and I was like, you sure? Like, have you seen the stuff? And she was like, yeah, just like she's like, obviously like be chill. I was like, yeah, I'll be chill, of course. Yeah. But then like
you come in, let's talk about his place.
But like the kids who didn't really know me, or like the teachers who didn't know me, they'll ask me about the podcast. Like, oh, what do you talk about? Relationship advice, stuff like that. But
how to be a good Samaritan.
Yeah, they said they're gonna invite me back. They're like, oh, this was like a couple of months ago. Like, oh yeah, we'll invite you back. But I think now they finally like saw the stuff I kind of talk about and they haven't hit me up. So maybe I'm not a good influence, but the kids loved me. That was like
that's all that matters.
I had every class I walked into on lock. Like they were like paying attention. They're like asking questions. It was cool. Shout out to the kids.
Yeah, you see, maybe you gotta every now and then just sprinkle some law-abiding like content. Be like, no, you should respect your parents and your elders.
Your homeless.
How to be a good husband.
Yeah. Why you should wait till marriage.
Yeah.
Drop
out of college.
Wait, so what kind of private school did you go to? Like, are you very religious?
No, I'm not religious.
You're not religious?
So I'm Catholic. No, I'm not really religious, to be honest. I don't study anything anymore, but I was Catholic and I went to a private school. I went to a Christian school.
Oh, okay.
And that was just because like the public school I was going to was like one of the worst in like the district or city or something like that. So my mom got me a tutor, and then that tutor, she recommended my mom to take me to that private school. So it was like Christian private school. It was a bunch of like just all white kids. So a point where it's like I didn't like my name because it was different. So I would start calling myself Saul. Like my name was Saul. Yeah.
Like
I started calling my name Saul, and I started playing a lot of football, American football, and I was just not identifying with like being Mexican at all. I was like low-key ashamed of it, to be honest. And I think now that's why like I go harder for it now. Is it because like I know there's another kid out there who was exactly like me, so like I want to let them know like, yo, like be proud of who you are. There's people making it who just look just like you. That's kind of like my goal with that, and that's why I like the Mexican history, like because we have so much great history that we don't really know. Yeah. So now that I have a platform, I love sharing it, and people are like, "Oh, I didn't know this." I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I love that." So it's been the goal with that. I just what I do is another thing for like podcast success or like whatever your personal success when it comes to social media. Everyone wants to cater to like a large audience, but like the more specific you make it, the more successful you are. For example, me, like there's that quote, is like niches create riches. So my audience is myself when I was like in 3rd, 4th grade. So everything I do is for that kid. Yeah. And then because there's so many kids like him or who went through the same experiences, they all resonate with the stuff I talk about. So I don't have to cater to like things I don't want to do. So I just be myself. I think that's been like my favorite part about everything. It's like literally myself in everything I do, and people fuck with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow, I think
that's beautiful.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to kind of end things off.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Before we end it, can I cancel myself? Imagine it just.
I was gonna say one last thing.
One last thing. Kanye West was right. Imagine.
I'm so glad Andrew Tate is free.
Free Top G.
I'll cut this.
Go ahead, Julie.
You can say the intro.
You gotta say That's the intro. Go ahead, Julie. You say one last thing. Cancel us right now.
What's the other thing?
You voted for Trump, right?
They're the best couple.
We should forgive Bad Bunny.
We should forgive Bad Bunny.
I don't blame Bad Bunny's choice.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame it either, bro.
He loves white women.
But
let him be.
We'll see you guys next week. Go ahead and sign off, guys.
Well, I just want to say again, thank you to Saul. I feel like a big part of the reason we have this podcast is because of him and all the help he's provided us. He's a really cool guy. Check him out. I mean, he's way bigger than us. So like,
you never know. It's probably because we might have like a different audience, so maybe some people.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you continue to come on as a guest.
No, for sure. Anytime. I mean, I'm like down whenever you guys. I'm here like every time, so just let me know. I'm like down the street. But no, thank you guys again. I've noticed it from the beginning. You guys had like something very special, so I was like, I can't just let it go to waste. I was like, I gotta let you guys know, you guys can do this shit on your own. And I've been super proud of you guys. Like, you guys been killing it. I just recently went on you guys' TikTok, and I was like, oh shit, like y'all fucking making numbers. I'm very excited to see where this all takes you guys. Wishing y'all the best. Again, whatever you guys need.
Thank you.
I'm right here. Also, guys listening, whoever want to start podcasts, just ask me a question. I'm gonna answer that shit. We don't gatekeep. Yeah, we don't gatekeep out here.
He is really nice. He is really nice.
We don't gatekeep out here.
Well, thank you again for coming. Remember, you guys support the IE. Check them out. Check out Bueno Bueno.
Yeah, check out IE and Friends, Bueno Bueno, IE and Besties. Follow me on Instagram, Saul V. Gomez. I might do a tour soon. I might do a comedy tour soon. It's still like, so check it out. I'll let you guys know. Go follow it. The offer was brought up to me, and I still haven't confirmed it because I was like, fuck, do I have any jokes right now? 'Cause I've been really busy. I don't even know. But so maybe I'll see what's up. But thank you guys for watching. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for having me on. It was a great time.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.